You are Locked On Jets POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Behind a 23-point fourth quarter, Breece Hall throwing the game-winning touchdown pass, the Jets completing the second largest comeback in franchise history. We can all breathe a sigh of relief because, yes, the Jets are on the board with their first win of the 2025 season. Welcome into the Jets POSTCAST here live on the Locked On Jets YouTube channel. You can listen to us in the Locked On Jets podcast feed after the game. Your POSTCAST host, Chris Schubert, here with you, recapping finally this season a New York Jets victory. We appreciate everybody joining us here. These postcasts, brand new to the Locked On Jets YouTube channel this season. Happy that we were able to get here together today for a victory as the Jets defeat the Bengals by a final of 39-38. So much to unpack here. We'll get into Justin Fields, the offense, Breece Hall, all of the great performances on that side of the ball. We will talk about the defense, their first half woes, coming up with the big stops when the Jets needed them in the second half, specifically in the fourth quarter. And yes, we will celebrate. We will have a victory edition here of the postcast. And this was a very emotional day for not only the New York Jets players, the New York Jets franchise, the New York Jets family, the New York Jets fan base, because before this game even got kicked off today, we had the unfortunate news of the passing of Nick Mangold that, I'll tell you, just as somebody who grew up watching Nick Mangold play from 2006 to 2016 as the Jets center, is just somebody that you identified with that era of Jets football and the success that this franchise had during that time. And to wake up to that news this morning, to have that news happen right before, you're just gutted that the Jets earlier in the week, you heard that Nick Mangold was dealing with some kidney stuff, and just was a sad piece of news to hear today. And it was an emotional day for all of us. Not really sure I was up for watching football in general after hearing the news, but the Jets, they got the victory. They're on the board. Plenty for us to break down here in this one. And that's where we'll start. We will start with the Jets picking up their first win of the season.
This is what you'll be talking about.
23 points in the fourth quarter. The Jets found themselves down 24-13 at halftime of this game. They came out in the second half, didn't score on that first drive, but the defense got an early stop. The Jets were able to kick a field goal, made it a one-possession game at that point, down only 8. And the question at that point, could the defense do it again? Could the defense give the ball back to the Jets offense, who in the second half really found their groove, and keep the Jets in this game? Well, unfortunately, it's a little bit of back and forth. The Bengals touchdown, they took a 31-16 lead. The Jets responded at the start of the fourth quarter to make it 31-24. The Bengals responded to that with a touchdown to make it 38-24. The Jets score. They make it 38-30. They correctly go for 2. They get the 2-point conversion after replay review comes in and helps them. It's 38-32, and you're wondering, okay, the Jets offense for the first time since week 1 is looking like the team we thought that they could be. And we'll break down all the numbers, over 500 yards of offense. We'll break down the individual performances here on the show as well. But can the defense give the Jets the ball one more time with the chance to now, in this instance, take the lead? That's exactly what they did. Boy, you could tell the entire Jets offense was confident because the play they scored the touchdown on, Tanner Engstrand in his bag. Trick play, HB pass. Breece Hall throws one up there. Mason Taylor goes up and high points it, out physicals the defender. The Jets kick the extra point. They take the lead, and the defense picks up the stop, and they win 39-38. It was ugly in that first half. You saw the same script that we have been watching for the previous 7 games of one side of the ball for the New York Jets, just not getting it done. In today's game, in the first half, it was both sides of the ball. Offense under Justin Fields was looking lost in that first quarter. Defense was digging an early hole. We've seen that script before. The Jets get down 10, 2 touchdowns, hard for them to battle back into a game. They did it today, and in large part because of the offensive performances. We got a lot on the offensive side of the ball to break down. Where do we start? How about the 502 yards of total offense for this team offensively? How about Breece Hall, responsible for 3 total touchdowns, gets his first rushing touchdown of the season, his first scrimmage touchdown this season, and he makes sure that if he's going to get one, he's going to get a couple. 18 carries, 133 yards on the ground for Breece. The 2 rushing touchdowns, he added in that passing touchdown, 4 yards on that one. And it was the Breece Hall that this team, this franchise, all of us watch and we expect to see every week, gashing the Cincinnati Bengals defensively for huge, massive chunk plays. I mean, they were showing the statistic all throughout the game of the number of 20-plus yard plays or 10-plus yard plays. Whatever the statistic was, it was showing the number of big chunk plays that the teams were having in this game. And very rarely this season when watching Jets football could we look up at that statistic and see the Jets have the advantage all throughout the game. They were getting those big, massive chunk plays, both running and through the air with Justin Fields, who, by the way, had an excellent day. 21 of 32, 244, the 1 touchdown, did not turn the ball over. He added some yardage on the ground. Really a great job by Tanner Engstrand and this offense in general. More quarterback design runs. Fields clearly got more confident as the game went on. And I want to talk about Justin Fields here for just a second because yes, the Jets won today, and there should be some optimism. Coming into this game, everybody not named Justin Fields made a fool of themselves this week in the media. First, it was Woody Johnson with his comments about Justin Fields at the owners' meetings. Then it was Aaron Glenn and the back and forth that he was having with the media about who he was going to start in this game and making it harder on himself. And with the way the game was trending in the first half, that's the reason why you don't make it hard on yourself when you're 0-7, because now you invite more chaos to the room. The Jets picked up the win today, so that's all going to be forgotten. But the only person who handled themselves, I think respectfully, handled themselves in the right way, was Justin Fields, when he had every reason not to after the way Woody Johnson talked to him and talked about him, I should say, earlier this week. A class performance from Fields all throughout this week. And I know he has been the subject of many conversations here on these postcasts in the Locked On Jets podcast feed with John B. breaking the team down on a daily basis. Fields has been a sore spot. Fields has been a problem. Fields is easily the reason they have 2 of those 7 losses on their ledger for the way he played against Denver and the way he played earlier on in the season. Pick your game that you want to also add to his resume. Today, the Jets won because of Justin Fields. The Jets won because of this offensive performance. And to have this type of performance in the wake of everything that happened earlier this week just shows you, I think, the mental maturity of Justin Fields. I saw many people in Jets Twitter land pointing this out. Certainly felt like he was playing more freer today. Felt like he just had no pressure on him because, let's face it, if Tyrod Taylor didn't have a knee injury, he's probably starting this game over Justin Fields. So Fields comes into this game knowing he's not long for this role unless he has a big performance. Well, he did, and I don't think there's any question about it. You come out of the bye week, Justin Fields should be your starter in week 10. How can you sit him down after you just had your best offensive game of the season? You have 500 yards of offense. And if we talk about this year, we were willing to give the Jets a pass if we saw progress throughout the course of the season, right? If we saw that the arrow was trending upward, we would be willing to forgive the results in a large way. The 0-7 start to this season didn't have the progress we were all looking for. You saw progress from this offense. You saw a step in the right direction for Justin Fields, for Breece Hall, for everybody involved. Offensive line played really well today, just opening up holes. Isaiah Davis had a huge game, 7 carries for 65 yards, had some key blocks. Just an all-around complete performance from this offense. That first quarter was shaky, but from basically the second quarter on, but really in the second half, they were the better offense. They were the better team, and they played that way, and it leads to their first win of the season. But I did want to at least carve out an opportunity to talk about Justin Fields because with the way everything went down this week, for him to handle himself the way that he did in preparation for this week, but then to play this well in this game, you tip your cap to Justin Fields for the performance that he had. We'll talk about the defense. We'll talk about some other big performances in this game, the other stuff to keep an eye on. There was a benching maybe that occurred in this game on the defensive side of the ball. We will get to all of it here on the other side. We'd love to hear from you as well. Your thoughts as the Jets pick up their first win of the season. All of it here on the other side. This episode brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I, we make decisions every single day. But on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement of this sports season, whether you're following the NFL, the NBA, or both. There's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, PrizePicks, the simplest way to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get them right, you win. Takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere PrizePicks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Download the PrizePicks app today Use our code LOCKEDONNFL. You're going to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 one. That's code LOCKEDONNFL. $50 in lineups after your first $5 one. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Rugiet, let's be real, making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress. I'm tired, or it happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. And that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. You just connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online. There's no awkward waiting room, no in-person appointments. If prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. The process, fast, simple, private, and it's all handled by real doctors. Visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNFL so they know we sent you. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making moves. NFL season back. Jets in the win column. Now 1-7 after today's game. And honestly, nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team, or in today's case, being in enemy territory, watching the Jets pick up a win. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle. Between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at the checkout can be frustrating. That's why I use Gametime, the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. Gametime, fast, easy. It's backed by the Gametime guarantee. You're always going to get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all the fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. How about the zone deals? You pick the section, Gametime picks the seats, you save big. My favorite feature, the seat view. We talk about it all the time here. You can see the exact view from your seat before you buy the tickets. Gametime, faster, cheaper, less stressful than any other way that I have bought tickets. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNFL, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's the promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Gametime. Back here on the Jets Postcast, Locked On Jets YouTube channel, Locked On Jets podcast feed. Don't worry, John B's not going anywhere. He does the podcast Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. I've got you covered here on the Postcast. We did these last year over on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel, bringing them over here to the main Jets YouTube channel now. So don't worry, John will have all of his thoughts in the podcast feed for you, maybe later tonight, early Monday morning, his thoughts on the Jets' upset win. But I got you covered after each and every Jets game, giving you a place to hang out. It's been a lot of therapy sessions through the first 7 weeks of the season. Not so much today. It was more the celebratory, a victory edition. We're celebrating the Jets in their 39-38 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. The defense, listen, you get away with this one because you win the football game, but that first half was a cause for concern. Now, I'm not surprised that without Sauce Gardner, the defense struggled. You were starting a rookie out there in Thomas on that side of the ball, and you're going up against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, one of the best wide receiver duos in the game. You have a quarterback on the other side that if you give him time, he's going to be able to carve you up. So I'm not surprised that Flacco had the day that he had. I'm not surprised that Chase and Higgins had that big touchdown. Chase had 91 yards. I'm not surprised that they were able to have success. Where I am surprised that Cincinnati was able to have success, because it's been a sore spot for them most of this season. They were able to gash the Jets on the running side of the ball. 181 yards, 7.9 yards per carry. And you look at it, Samaje Perine, 94 yards on 9 carries. Chase Brown got 12 carries, 73 yards. They had 3 rushing touchdowns in this game. Perine, Brown, Joe Flacco added one in on the tush push. The Jets just got carved up. This was a bad Quinnen Williams game. This was a bad game all across the board for this Jets running defense. Tractor trailer sized holes for Samaje Perine and Chase Brown to run through. And coming into the game, you're thinking, okay, you're going to invite Cincinnati to run the ball because you're down Sauce. Do you really want to play a one-on-one game on the outside with Chase, with Higgins? Like, you're going to lose that battle. So, okay, we'll just try to put you in positions to run the ball, contain, and then on third down, get off the field. But the problem is the Jets couldn't get those early down stops, and it's carried over into the second half. They just couldn't get those first and second down tackle for loss, only allow 2 or 3 yards. They were just big, huge chunk plays, 8, 10, 12, 25 yards here and there. And the Cincinnati team was able to just keep their offense completely on schedule, completely in rhythm. They could do whatever they want. They can call any play because they knew if they got back behind the chains, they could run the ball to get themselves some yardage back. They could throw the ball. Just, it was too easy for Cincinnati today in this game. But the Jets were able to get the stops when it mattered most, especially there late in the fourth quarter. So credit where credit is due. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Because late in this game, the Jets forced a punt after scoring a touchdown to make it 38-32, and then they got the turnover on downs to ice the game. They forced a punt to start the third quarter as well, which I thought was the key turning point in this game if we had to pick one out. The Jets get the ball to start the third quarter, and after scoring the field goal in the second half, you're thinking to yourself, all right, this is the moment. If the Jets go down the field and they can score a touchdown, boom, ball game on, here we go. They punt, they don't score points, Cincinnati gets the ball back, and you're just, the dread comes over you. It came over me. You just felt like, this is it. This is where they score. This is where they take the Jets out of it, and it's over because this offense isn't designed to come back from being down multiple scores. But they force a punt. Jets are able to kick a field goal. Now it's a one-possession game, and now you get into this back and forth for the remainder. So a great job by the Jets on that first Cincinnati drive of the second half. They forced a 3-and-out. They didn't just force a punt. It was a very quick 3-and-out so that they could get the offense back on the field. And then from there, the Jets scored on every possession after that, except for the one where they had the end-of-game kneel down. After that 3-and-out defensively for the Jets, it went field goal, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns for the New York Jets. Just an incredible effort, and an effort that I don't think we saw coming when the way this offense has played for the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's the most points that they've scored all season. It's the most points that they've scored since week 1. So you're thinking to yourself, when the Bengals score 24 points in the first half, can the Jets score 25 points even if they pitched a shutout in the second half? Can they score enough points in the second half? The answer today was yes. The stuff to keep an eye on, the health of this team going into the bye week and coming out of the bye week. Now they have time to kind of reset. And boy, this is just an emotional dump for this team to go into this bye week not having the cloud hovering over them of being 0-8, being the only winless team in football, the one-and-done conversations with Aaron Glenn, the what are they going to do at quarterback, all of it. Literally all of it went away today with this game. They go into the bye week with a win, feeling good about themselves. You come out of the bye week playing Cleveland. You feel like there's a chance to build some positive momentum there. No questions about the quarterback. Justin Fields is going to be your starter coming out of this week. Aaron Glenn gets that win. He's showing those signs of progress. Now he's got to build off of it. This is all we were asking for. This is all the Jets needed to show us. I just wish it didn't take 8 weeks for them to do so, but they did it today. And for once this season, for the first time this year, the Jets can celebrate a victory. We can all celebrate a victory. It will be a victory Monday for all of us. It'll be a rest of the day victory Sunday, but it'll be a victory Monday for all of us tomorrow when everyone is recapping the NFL action. That's going to do it for us here on the Jets Postcast, here on the Locked On Jets YouTube channel, the Locked On Jets podcast feed. We're back again, recapping that game against Cleveland, coming out of the bye week. So the Jets off next week. They'll get to just recover, get healthy, and try to build off of the momentum of a huge comeback win as the Jets score 23 points in the fourth quarter. They beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Breece Hall has a huge day. Justin Fields wasn't supposed to be the starter. He is the starter. He has a huge day. Aaron Glenn gets win number 1, and now we get to see if the Jets can build some momentum off of this. Finally, we get to celebrate a Jets victory. Have a good one, Jets fans.